Hello, minions. I am Wheezy, as you know, because you're minions. And I'm bringing you this soon-to-be, well, I guess not technically, off-schedule Minecraft video. And I say off-schedule because I've been very hit or miss about posting lately, and sporadic and random and this, that, and the other, and then it occurred to me, Wheezy, you're a motherfucking engineer. Do what engineers do, and make a schedule that you have to stick to so that you will meet your deadlines. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm giving myself a not overly dramatic schedule, basically, where I'm not trying to turn my channel into a job or something that is tedious to do, because I still love making videos, but a night comes along and I'm like, I just posted a video a day ago, 2 days ago. Plus, I'm not sure what to post next. I don't know what I have saved up or what I need to render. Maybe tomorrow. And in my defense, over this past weekend, I had family in town, so I really didn't have much of a chance. But it got me thinking, hey, burp, excuse me, come up with a schedule, something that's realistic, that you think you can stick to, and, see how that goes. So, damn it, my pig. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do, is make a schedule. And since I'm an engineer, although I guess this would be more of an accountant thing, but as an engineer, I decided to go to a tool to allow me to analyze and plan out my schedule for what I do. So I went to Excel, and I'll try to remember to post it up on the screen here as Tao cheats his way across the world. I would never do that. And so yeah, as you may or may not be able to see, you'll see the days on there, the days of the week. And the top row is what I've called the air day, which is essentially the way that I upload my videos is typically at night. And hopefully my wife's TV's not too loud. She's playing Black Ops with Amberdillo right now. Oh yeah, I need a new pick. Oh, here's my genius minecart system. It uses buttons and powered rails to make sure that the minecart only goes one way, which is back to the return area. So I can actually put a minecart with a chest and push it along the tracks, and it'll automatically return to here. I've never done that. I've currently only used it for transport because I haven't put in my elevator here, so I'm just using the minecart to ride swiftly to the surface. I need a pick. But yeah, so the top row is essentially kind of the intended air dates for my videos, which my upload schedule is typically that I upload the videos before I go to bed at night. That's a good working pick. So that they're basically available the next morning. And I know for you guys in the UK, that doesn't make sense, so keep in mind that this is an American mountain time schedule. And hate me later. I'm sorry, my UK guys. I still love you, even though I don't understand or respect your time zone. And by understand, I do understand your time zone, but it's not American. And goddamn it, we only do American things on this channel. Well, enough of that crap. So the air date is essentially when I upload a video. Like, for example, for Monday, if I upload a video Tuesday night... Did I just close myself out of that? A video Sunday night, then its air date is Monday. So everything on the upload day is for me to remember that, hey, that day is when I need to upload that video before I go to bed so that it's up the next day. And then my create days are staggered roughly along that line, with the exception of editing a series video, which will basically be something like... the War College tips and tricks, or any other series videos that require a decent amount of editing, basically. my higher production value videos. And that's just because I want to give myself the weekend to work on them, which will make me more likely to do them, because every night I'm like, oh, I don't want to do a series video tonight. It's going to take too long, and then I'm not going to actually get to play video games tonight, blah, 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 blah. Well, if I give myself a whole weekend to do it, and then you'll notice from the schedule that I'm not doing a direct upload, right? So I wanted my series videos available. Like, I want to post them, you know, on Friday night so that they're up on Saturday, and then they're up the whole weekend. I can take the weekend off as far as posting videos goes for the most part. And then I can just spend some time editing a series video. Maybe that'll get my, I mean, it definitely hope it will get my War College series going again. Which I've been, like I said, I've got the topic, I've had the topic for a couple of months now. I've even got quite a few clips. There's still new clips I want to capture. I want to go back to like Call of Duty and capture some more clips, maybe even Medal of Honor or something. You know, if I put it off long enough, I guess I can do it in the new games. I've got a ton of Battlefield 3 clips, but I don't want it to be entirely Battlefield 3, because the idea of the FPS War College is that it's in specific to which FPS you're playing, and if I post an entire episode with clips from one game, then even though the concepts would be spread across FPS, the video would not be, which could be misleading, and I don't want that. Especially since I want the FPS War College series to be my most highly produced series. And I have not put up, to get an idea of how long it's been, if you guys have forgotten, since I put up the last video, is before I got my new microphone. So I go back and listen to it, and it's still pretty kind of like, you know, so I don't know. But yeah, you know, I want to keep myself to this, and I'd like you guys to hold me accountable to this. I'm not guaranteeing you that this is exactly what I'll be able to stick to. You know, I got full-time job, wife, 2 kids. I mean, I've got stuff going on, but I should be able to peck out, you know, a little bit of time each night to throw a video together. Live commentaries take no effort, basically. Digging a giant hole and recording. No, I don't want to say and recording, because then he won't talk to me. Digging a giant hole. And yes, I guess you're wondering what I'm actually doing here. This is a giant hole. This is in my mine, which I've been doing shaft mining. But believe it or not, I've actually been shaft mining all the way down here, and I've found little to almost no diamond in these shafts. So, and that's, you know, I'm playing the odds on these. They're split 3 apart, and they're really only at their max efficiency when you dig above and below as well. But then I kind of decided, you know, I'm building my whole base underground, and I'm, you know, I need room for farms, which is what I'm also building upstairs, or not really upstairs, but the other downstairs. Here, let me use a cheaty teleport to Wheezy's labs. You know, this area in here, I'm digging out to put farms and stuff. But, you know, if I'm digging that space out separately, why not benefit from the space I'm digging out from my mines? So even though it's not efficient to dig out the entire mine, it will serve the dual purpose of finding every available resource, if, you know, completely in the area, and providing me with rooms to build stuff. So I could fit, I mean, look at this room. You know, basically each one of these quadrants is approximately, but perhaps not exactly, 25 by 25. And I've dug them from y equals 6 at my feet to y equals 15, which means that this encompasses, and I kind of dig down here because I even out the stone. Diamond blocks spawn from 2 to 15, and I'm digging from 6 to 15. So I should find nearly every diamond block in these areas that I've drilled out. So this will be, you know, a good way for me to do, you know, complete mining. So essentially, this is kind of the way it's going to go. Is the best I have is a bedroom, but I do have couches in my entryway. Wink. So basically where I built these shafts, I'll fill them back in with smooth stone. And since I've dug out all this space, I've got a lot of cobblestone that I am smelting up into regular stone. As a matter of fact, and I'll go show you, I saw that slime chunk. Holy crap. Hi. I don't have my looting sword or else I'd use it. It's upstairs and I don't feel like dealing with it because you're not in the designated slime chunks. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. No, I don't remember. Oh, what the? Wasn't I just... Huh. Dang it, now I'm confused. Oh, I was down here, wasn't I? After this quad. Yep. So, I completely forgot what I was saying. Something and stuff and things. Oh yeah, about all the cobblestone that I've basically gotten from doing this. I'll show you why I'm smelting it because if anyone on the server needs any cobblestone, you know, you can have some. You know, I don't want to say come and clean me out, you know, but I've got cobblestone to spare. Let's go back up and I'll show you. Oh, I've got to push it. Push. Oh, oh. The shitty thing about this system is if I miss the minecart, it goes on without me. Yeah, I've got, I believe it's 6 double chests of cobble that are completely full, which is all I allocated for cobblestone. And I allocated 3 double chests for smooth stone. So, yeah, 3 chests for smooth stone. I've started to fill the second one. But these 6 double chests of cobble are completely full. So now when I'm digging, every time I get a new stack of cobble, I'm going to go and smelt it straight back into smooth stone. Yep. So that way I'll start filling out the smooth stone without wasting my silk touch picks. And by the way, Rakito, I'm still eating your delicious cookies. They are not an efficient food source because they don't fill up your... there's like a hunger bar and then there's a hidden bar you don't see, which is basically your satisfaction or fulfillment bar. I forget what it's actually called. But it's not very efficient at filling that out. But you know what? I deal with it because I've got an abundant supply of cookies. Also of iron. I need to fill out my storage area a little bit better because I've got a bunch of stuff. But anywho, oh yeah. Yeah, and there's still that frickin' glitch in the game where it doesn't load your maps, your signs all the time. Let me go put some of this stuff away. So yeah, going back to, you know, my upload schedule. You know, take a look at it. You guys think it's a good idea? Would you change it? Now, the way I've got it set out now, and I'll go by air dates, is, oh, excuse me. I think I'm done down there. Where should I go? I don't know. We'll go wander around. Oh, actually, you know what? It's time to talk about it, too. First, we'll go around my base here. Oh, I could use another... I could enchant another pick. Oh, I don't have... Oh, anyway. All right, let's talk about... let's talk about my upload schedule. We'll actually walk to town. I was like, if I teleport, I'm just going to be there immediately. Ooh, I need to put my minecart back. Okay, focus, Daniel-san. All right, by air dates. Monday, Minecraft. Monday and Thursday, actually, is what I have slotted for Minecraft. And the reason I did that instead of Monday, Wednesday, is because I'm going to try and do 2 Minecraft videos a week, just because they're simple, they're straightforward, and doing 1 a week isn't really going to get us anywhere. And when I do 1 a week or 1 every other week, I feel like I'm always catching you up on what's going on and not including you in what's going on, which has been an issue. So you come back and you're kind of keeping updated on what things have changed. And why is this door gone? Did somebody come by my house and blow up my door again? Ugh. Oh, I need a crafting table. So that's the idea for Minecraft. Is Monday and Thursday will be Minecraft days. Um, and I'll try to. I'm not sure if I'm gonna theme each one of those. Like if I want to do um, like one day we do builds and one day I do, kind of server tour. I'll probably just do, what I'm working on, and then every now and then we'll do a server tour. This grass isn't spreading because I never come through here anymore because I'm a big dirty cheater. But man, I just don't have the time to waste. And that looks like a chunk error. That better be a chunk error. Thank God. So that's the idea for Minecraft. Why is this here? And Tuesday, LiveCom day, which I feel weird having one LiveCom day because LiveCom's traditionally what I've kind of done on the channel. But you'll see Wednesday is random/optional day, which will probably be another LiveCom day. Or whatever, like if I'm playing a random game, like if I have a test drive video or some other random game I put together, or sometimes when I put together just random videos. It's a random optional day. Random optional meaning I'm not going to make myself be obligated to upload a video that day, but if I do, then, I can be a little more flexible and creative with it. So that's the idea for that. So that could potentially be 2 live comms in a row, and then another Minecraft. And then Friday would be a full comm, which would just be a traditional commentary, which is me talking about something. And for those, I can either talk about random stuff that's going on, or I can take a topic from you guys and just mix and match. As always with all of this stuff, I want community input on everything. So if you think this schedule idea is bullshit, or you want me to switch it up, let me know. Maybe even once we're into it, you're not a big fan of it, let me know that. So yeah, that's, kind of my thoughts on that. So full comm would be just a normal kind of Wheezy, commentates probably over a game that I've played by myself. Oh, that's interesting. Like a Battlefield game where I wasn't playing with anybody, and but it was a good game I wanted to keep. Might be worth talking over, or, anything else I want to live commentate over. Side note real quick on Minecraft Minecraft days is they're slated as Minecraft right now. That doesn't necessarily mean it's only going to be Minecraft, right? It could also be basically a Let's Play day, but right now the only Let's Play I'm really doing is Minecraft. And any other Let's Play I would want to do, I haven't really wanted to do any other Let's Plays, but they might fit in that slot, or they might go into random and optional. It's, like I said, I'm not being rigid about it. It's just goals for me to shoot for so that I keep myself motivated to make content and get it out there and be satisfied, personally satisfied with how the channel is going. And so yeah, that's the idea with that. And then Saturday is series day, and I joined those cells rather than doing 2 cells because I'm not going to be uploading 2 series videos on the weekend. I'll be uploading 1 series video that I'll leave posted standalone for the weekend, and that's the goal for that. So it'll be Wheezy's War College, or a tips and tricks, or I'm going to try and start this new series called Wheezy's Playbook, which kind of fits a gap between tips and tricks and FPS War College, or even more of a gap between tips and tricks and just short clips that I normally put on the amalgamation, or the series that I only put up, I think, 1 or 2 videos for that I call Wheezy Shorts, which is, not full games, but clips that I like. Oxy's Jungle Gym. So that's the, kind of the idea with how that's going to go. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. And I should probably bring this up in a different live com video. That, I guess this Minecraft video technically falls under random and optional in the schedule, assuming I actually know, because it's Monday as I record this, which means I'll probably render it tonight and I'll probably upload it tomorrow night. So it will go up. Oh no, upload Tuesday night, random and optional. It'll be up on Wednesday, so it'll fall right into the schedule. Tonight, I actually do have a live commentary saved, so before you see this video, you will see another video, and you will know that I'm already sticking to my schedule. Oh, wow, Porkchop's castle is really coming along. That looks good. Some of you by now may have noticed that the inn is not here anymore. It is gone. This is the MinionCraft Inn, sort of giggity out of stock. There's nothing in here. I'll have to find that picture off the Twitter. Did someone rewire this, or did someone manually harvest it? Basically, let's go over here. Here, the great TNT explosion took place. Yes. Someone destroyed the inn with an enormous... Ow, you motherfucker! Goddamn son of a bitch. Why was he already wounded? Where did you even come from? Well, that was shit-tacular. Someone set off an enormous TNT explosion. And what I theorize is that they used creative mode and filled the entire inn with TNT and set it off, not realizing that TNT throws. So when it blasts, it throws other TNT. So I had to rebuild a good chunk of the melon farm here. You can see that sign still hasn't been replaced. The tree, I think it was Tau and Oxy. Yeah, in a few. Tau and Oxy helped rebuild like the tree shop. You can see the leaves still haven't been replaced. And all these chests that got destroyed in here by the blast. You can see that I think the chicken got completely destroyed. I think Tau said he tried to start rebuilding it. But anyway. It looks like the sand generator was untouched, although it still doesn't work. The wiring to the wheat farm was destroyed, so I don't even know if it works right now. These buildings had the fronts blasted out, and there was an enormous crater all the way down here, which Rakito apparently went through the effort of filling in, so it's actually, I think, completely filled in. I'll try to post that picture that that Tau tweeted me when he found it. It was utterly epic devastation. This entire area was one enormous crater. And since I've given probably a good month of notice for the person responsible to answer, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it, because he still hasn't frickin' messaged me back, other than message me saying he was in the middle of a message and didn't finish it, and it got lost, and so he was going to send me a new one. He sent me the message saying he was going to send me a new message, and that was like a week ago. I haven't heard a new message. But looking at the server logs, there is conclusive evidence, and I've talked to everyone on the server, sent them all the same copy of the logs, every single person, even the person in question, the same copy of the logs to make sure they came to the same conclusion as I did. And some of them actually came to a more succinct conclusion because they noticed a login coordinate that I overlooked, which was directly after the blast, and the re-login coordinate was actually at the bottom of the crater, from a person who claimed to have no prior knowledge of the explosion until they discovered it while on the server with another person at a later time. Thus conclusively proving that the person responsible for blowing up the inn in the middle of town was in fact Oxy. Oxycontin fucking blew up the goddamn inn when no one was online, snuck in creative mode, filled up the goddamn inn with TNT, and blew the entire town to shit. And for the motivation, that the best that we can come up with is from a conversation that he had offhanded with Tau maybe a week or two before, about how Oxy was interested in building like a harbor or a dock here, but he didn't have room because the inn was here in the town. I just kind of made an offhanded comment. Like a week after I gave him OP, basically admin rights, the ability to switch himself into creative mode, this happens, and the most pissy part about it is all that was found was the crater and this sign. And every single one of us who either saw this crater or who I told about it who didn't see it, like Scion, I said, hey, someone blew up the inn. There's an enormous crater in town. We're like, oh, boom. It's just, oh, boom. It had to be boom. And Oxy put this sign here to frame boom. And in addition to that, also, Oh, it's all the way up there. Actually, do I have a... I think I have a waypoint set at his treehouse. No, Boom's home is his other house. It's not the treehouse. I don't feel like going up there the legit way. Game mode 1. Doopity doopty 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 doop. Oh, he cleaned it up. I guess Boom cleaned it up. Boom's entire treehouse was filled with TNT, but not like his chests, right? Like there was TNT just stacked in his house. And he was just like, who put all this TNT in my house? And nobody really knew, but and maybe it's unrelated, but it seems, along with the sign labeled simply Boom near the blast crater, is that he wanted to make it look like Boom, who doesn't have OP and doesn't have the ability to go in creative mode, was stockpiling TNT. And then this explosion, most likely attributed to him, and then he signed his work. Which, to be fair, if Boom, every time Boom's done a prank on the server, he has admitted to it freely. Which is lucky for Boom, he had been busy with school or work or whatever he's been up to for the entire week leading up to the explosion and hadn't logged on in over a week. Matter of fact, he hadn't logged on within 5 days of when the blast took place. He logged in. The blast took place on a Friday, and he logged in for the first time in like a week or more the next Saturday, and was on when Tao was on, and immediately was like, I did not do this. Like as soon as Tao was like, hey, come look at this, and brought him over, and Boom looked at it and goes, this was not me. You know, like his snap reaction is, oh my god, everyone's gonna think I did this, and we all did initially, right, until I actually looked at the logs and I was like, there's no denying it was Oxy. And you may have noticed earlier I said that Oxy helped Tao rebuild town. Well, he was on with Tao when Tao discovered the crater, right? Oxy was on and Tao were on. And Tao was out working at his pyramid, which is awesome. I'll show you guys that in another video. And Oxy was on who knows where. Tao came to town to grab some sand out of the sand storage shop and was like, oh my god, you know, and said, Oxy, you got to come look at this. And Oxy came over and was like, oh wow, I can't believe it. And there's all this big back and forth. I can't believe he did that, you know. Whoever did this is going to be in big trouble. And, you know, that's what Tao was saying. And Oxy was like, oh, really? You think so? And, you know, even made a comment. Tao was like, man, I wonder if he's going to want to roll back the snapshot or rebuild it or what. And Oxy was like, well, I hope he doesn't want to rebuild it, you know, because I think we could probably do a better job rebuilding. And, you know, that's entirely true. That was one of the first things I built on the server, just to kind of, as a placeholder for, I thought new players would use it to kind of get acclimated. That turned out to not be the case because we give them so much stuff starting out that they can just go build and it's no problem. But I spent a bunch of time building it. You know, it wasn't anything fancy or special, but for someone to go behind everyone's back, blow it up is one thing, and then it's completely another thing to try and frame someone else on the server for it. So I de-opt Oxy, not Boom. Boom doesn't have op and doesn't want it. I've offered it to him several times. He claims that he can't handle the responsibility. And also that it might ruin the game for him. And I understand that because I've talked about that before. If you spend a lot of time in creative and give yourself stuff that you otherwise have to work for, it's not good. That's why we have the gentleman's handshake rule on the server, that individual projects are done legit and community projects that benefit everybody can be done with creative mode. It's a way of motivating people to do things that benefit everybody that don't require them to input just hours of their own personal time into it, because especially if they're like me, they just don't have that kind of time to put into community projects. So why not only build your own projects if, you know, the cost of building a community project is just hours spent. So the handshake rule is for the people on the server that have op, is that creative is for community projects only. But anyway, I looked in the server after investigating everything that once I gave Oxy op, he put himself in creative mode and didn't take himself out of creative mode the entire time he had it. Up until the blast occurred, in which he set up the TNT, blew up the inn, which knocked him off the server because it lagged the server so hard, it threw him off. He logged back in, which is the coordinate at the bottom of the crater, switched himself from creative back to survival mode because I don't know if he thought that would make it less suspicious, and then disconnected, and then pretended he knew nothing about it. So I de-opt him, and I unwhitelisted him, so he's not allowed on the server anymore. But, and I'm wondering how much longer I'm going to leave this floating out there. You know, my opinion on the matter has been, and I've talked to other people on the server, and they all agree, if he, and it's sad that this video has to go up first because it takes a lot of it away from the manning up part of it, but if he mans up and says, hey, I blew up the inn, he doesn't even, I would like for him to tell me why, but even just, hey, I did it, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I tried to frame boom, I'm sorry that I, pretended I didn't know anything about it and then I denied it. Anything. Just, hey, I acknowledge the fact that, I've seen in the logs that since I've removed him from the whitelist, he's tried to reconnect. And the server's gone down before to where people can't connect at all. And if you try to connect to the server and you can't connect, the usual reaction that everybody has is, hey, why can't I get on the server? Is the server down? Blah, 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 blah. He tried to reconnect like a dozen times over the course of like 3 or 4 days until I basically stopped checking. I don't know if he's done since then. But, he knows he's been removed from the whitelist. He knows by now, well, now for sure, but before this, I'm pretty sure he knew that we knew. I messaged him to that effect, and basically being the parent that I am, where it's like, because I asked him if he knew anything about town. He's like, no, I just showed up, and there's just this big smoking crater in the ground. And I messaged him back after I looked at the logs, and I messaged him privately on YouTube and said, knowing that I have access to and have looked closely at the Minecraft server logs, I would like you to tell me again if there's anything you know about what happened on the server. And I didn't hear another word from him for 2-3 weeks until I posted that last Minecraft video where at the very end I said, if you're on the server, make sure you check your YouTube messages and you message me, because I've sent him like 5 or 6 messages. And then he tweeted me like the next day and said, hey, I was writing you a message on YouTube, but then I got distracted and I turned my computer off and the message got lost. I'm going to retype it and I'll send it to you. And this was, I think, over a week ago at this point. So I've got to post this video. Look, it's just this is it, we were going to keep it a little more discreet. Like, I was thinking about maybe not even telling anyone in a video. Everyone on the server knew that it was Oxy. We'd all figured it out together. But I wasn't necessarily even going to announce it to everyone else, but I haven't heard from him. And so basically we all agreed, after I talked to everybody, if he comes and he mans up for what he did, then we'll let him back on the server. He's not going to get op again, but he can at least come back on the server, take his punishment, which we've mostly agreed on, but I'd like him to message me if he wants back on. And then that's, let's let that be at the end of it. And I'll give this maybe another week or two. I don't know, maybe he's, busy going on vacation or some shit. I don't know. It's been an unusually large amount of time. He should have answered by now, but basically, basically, yeah, I want to hear from him, and I want to hear from him soon. If you hear this, man, I mean, it's okay, just man up. We all do stupid shit sometimes. Come and take your punishment, or basically what's going to happen is we're going to have, I don't know, rummage sale, an auction, and, we're going to basically just give this stuff off to people who want it and, move on. We're just going to rape and pillage and move on. So yeah, if you want to, I talk to people and my sense of justice is a little different than theirs, because they're basically the cooler minds that weren't mine were of the opinion that even though he blew up the inn, he didn't technically blow up anything, so people didn't really lose anything, of importance. He didn't blow up someone's house. He didn't destroy someone's direct property, even though it's something that I personally built over the course of several hours. So blowing up all the stuff that he's worked to earn, which, like I said, he's been in creative ever since I gave him the power to have that. So anyway, yeah, basically, we're not going to make you lose your stuff, but you will be appropriately, revenged for what you've done. But hey, that's that's part of that's fine if you want back on, or if you don't want back on, I guess that's fine too. We'll move on from it. The idea with me letting people on the server, as I've always said, and I always tell the people who message me like, hey, can I play Minecraft with you? I always message back and I'm like, I don't just let anybody on. The idea being that people I let on are personally invested in this channel. and meaning that they've been around enough and that they're well known enough in the comments that they're kind of part of what I consider the community here. Um, you know, basically, you know, I wanted, you know, people in the community, so it feels like they kind of have something to lose, so to speak, you know, like being, you know, not that it's a big deal really to anybody, but, you know, on a smaller scale, being maybe ostracized is the wrong word, but, you know, to be publicly shamed in the community that's kind of grown around this channel, it's what makes it for me personally so enjoyable. You know, losing status in that for being one of the, you know, few allowed on the server, that they wouldn't want to throw away that opportunity so they could be trusted, you know, with creative and, you know, basically they would be trustworthy. You know, that's the idea. I allowed them on the server, which I'm paying out of my pocket. They're not going to come on here and grief. And this is the first and only instance of domestic terrorism we've had, and it is not a lighthearted prank as other things have been. It was a blatantly destructive act that he didn't take credit for. A prank, by its very nature, is something that you should gladly take credit for. I mean, that's the idea. It's like, yeah, I did this to you, and isn't it hilarious? When you blow up something enormous, try to blame it on someone else, and when asked directly if it was you, deny it, then it's not so much, you know, meeting that requirement of does this close both sides? Yeah, it does. Of a lighthearted prank that you're proud to take credit for. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. I think I got kind of on a rant here because, you know, a little perturbed about it, and more perturbed probably that I haven't heard back. Message me back, dude. Let's get this shit ironed out. If not, then we'll move on. That's, you know, it's not going to slow us down. We will rebuild something greater there. I've had some clever suggestions for punishments, so we'll figure out which one of those we might do. But yeah, I'm gonna call it because this is probably an enormously long video now. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you, minions. Always leave comments and feedback because I love to hear from you guys, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.